Thank you for doing this interview. Can you tell us who you are and something about what you do?
Yes, I'm Ansel. I'm 44 years now. I'm married for 8 years with Ansel, and we have 3 children. And for the last 15 years we've been doing mission work with YWAM.
Tell us something about your own personal journey.
My own personal journey started in a family with 5 children. Went to church, quite Orthodox church. My father was working very hard to try to provide for the family, but we didn't see him that much at home. And then when I was about 16 years, or maybe a little bit earlier, 14, 15, I gradually started realizing that, to me something was wrong, because I didn't fall in love with girls as other guys did, and I started developing feelings for other guys. And I really hoped and prayed that that would go away, but it didn't. But I didn't live it out till I was about 22, 23 years old. When I got the opportunity, and for me then some of the worst years of my life started. Initially I really liked it, but also I realized more and more that I would never have children of my own, and that was a terrible thought. And most relationships were very short, only focused on my body, not on me, who I really was. And even for myself, I was wondering who I really was. And as others were not interested in the real me, I didn't like to look into it myself. Till I was about, it was about 16 years ago now. I went to a conference, and that was for the first time that I really got an encounter with the Lord. And that radically started changing my life. Everything went instantly upside down. Not that my feelings for guys were away immediately, but for the first time I really realized that there is somebody who really loves me, who is really interested in me, and I'm really worth being the one who I am.
Now something happened, because now you're a married man with children. So say something about how that occurred.
Well, from that point on, that I really got to know God, I really got that encounter for Him, a lot of things started happening. I really made up my mind that I did no longer want to live in the gay lifestyle. Besides actually that I really realized that is not what God has for me. He has something much better. I had seen so many broken relationships, and already so many of my friends had been coming to me and crying about their friend who has gone off with another one. And I had started one relationship myself that was a little bit more serious, but also that one didn't end up well, and I was really tired of that. So I made up my mind I was going to leave that lifestyle and really seek another lifestyle. And I really wanted to live what God had for me. I really started trusting Him.
So what did you do to bring that about?
Started doing the counselling schools at YWAM. And once I did the addictive behavior counselling school, I really started seeing and understanding so many things that had been wrong in my life. And I came to understand that actually my homosexual feelings were nothing else as the result of a lot of other issues. And as I had started dealing with issues, the need for the homosexual encounters was going. So the pressure for that went less.
So Ansel, something happened in terms of you being in a lifestyle, and then you're married. What happened to get you into that position?
Yes. Well, what happened in my life is that when I came back from the conference, I actually quit my job, and I went to do the counselling schools with Youth with a Mission. And when I did particularly the addictive behavior counselling school, I came to realize so many issues that were not right in my life. And as I started dealing with those issues and found healing in those issues, the need for the sexual encounters and the pressure to ever go back into that, really disappeared. They went down. And it was only a couple of years later, it was like some years that I really didn't have any desire. No strong desires to guys, but I didn't know yet how to fall in love with a girl. It was only some years later, as I started growing more and more and just living out who I really was. And I came also to realize that I'm not just a homosexual, I'm actually a human being, where sexuality is just a part of. And as I just started growing in all the other aspects, a couple of years later, I suddenly got butterflies in my stomach towards a woman, and that was in Nigeria. And I've not even married that woman, but as most times with relationship, it doesn't match immediately. But then about 2 years later, I got to know my wife, and we started a relationship and got married.
So what were the issues that you began to deal with?
There were lots of issues of codependency. I realized that actually I never had an emotional bonding with my father. My father was there, he was working very hard to provide, but he didn't know how to provide emotional connection. And as I really made sure I did get good, healthy role models with other men who took that place, it really brought a lot of healing. And in particularly realizing that God is my Heavenly Father. And seeing how God was dealing with my life, how God was intervening, providing and giving direction and showing His love many times. It brought so much healing.
Has it been difficult to walk in this direction in a society that for so long really has taught that homosexuality is completely normal and acceptable?
To walk my journey of healing, so no matter what society I had been in, it wouldn't have mattered. I have made up my mind. And I've made up my mind very strongly. The only thing, being in the Netherlands, it makes me sometimes so angry to see how by parts of the society actually people are denied the journey that I've been taking and that has given me so much fulfillment. And to see people being told that that is not possible, well, there is a big longing. It makes me very angry.
What would your advice be to parents or the siblings in families where one member of the family is struggling with homosexuality?
My advice would be seek help to learn to connect emotionally to the person who is struggling and to connect in the family. I believe if that connection is there and is healthy, if people get valued, also when they maybe have certain traits that are considered more feminine, like creativity or intuitive or sensitive. Those are emotions that are not just for women, they're also for men, they're also masculine. And when that can be affirmed in a guy's life, I believe that's the most important thing that we can do.
So as you look back over your own journey, what would you say the most important lessons are that you have learnt?
Being a human is far more than just being a sexual being. And my life is much more and is much more important. There are much more important things than just my sexuality. And for me, finding healing in many aspects of my life, and in the end, even receiving a healing in my sexuality was just like a big gift. But just knowing to be satisfied, to be in peace, is so important. And really finding fulfillment, doing things and work that I find fulfillment in, is so important. And for me, the biggest crown after my marriage, after receiving my wife and getting married, was to receive children. It was like a dream that was the most difficult thing when I realized that I had the homosexual feelings. It was the biggest blessing to receive 3 children.